everyone, welcome to Storytime with Fairfield County Library. My name is Miss Nina and I am so excited for Storytime today. Are you guys ready? Before we get started, I want to remind you that we are doing hybrid Storytimes, which means on top of Storytimes online here, we are also doing them in person at the library. The in-person version of these Storytimes for the children's age group are at 4 p.m. on Wednesdays. Okay, now that that's out of the way, are you guys ready for some story time? This week, our theme is knights. That means that this week we're going to read books about those armored fighters who use swords and shields. All right, our first book is The Perfect Sword by Scott Goto and published by Charlesbridge. Sensei Masa was a master swordsmith known throughout all of Japan. His swords were considered some of the finest ever made. He and his apprentice, Michio, spent countless days and hours in the forge creating their swords. They heated and hammered the metal over and over to shape the blade. Then they polished and sharpened it to a razor's edge. Sensei and Michio took great care and effort and paid attention to every detail. Once a sword was complete, both master and apprentice inspected it for flaws. "Magnificent!" exclaimed Michio as he and Sensei studied their latest creation. "It is perfect." "No," replied Sensei, his eyes still on the blade. "Nothing is truly perfect. Something can always be improved. Remember to try your very best in everything you do and continue to grow and learn." "Yes, Sensei," replied Michio with a slight bow. "However," mused Sensei, "one could say my best is perfect." Sensei turned to Michio and winked. Both burst into laughter. "Now comes the hard part," sighed the master, "finding an owner for this sword." "But Sensei," replied the apprentice, "there are hundreds of samurai in the city. Why should it be difficult?" "Many, yes," answered Sensei, "but not all are worthy. Most are thugs and bullies who would not follow Bushido. A sword is the soul of a samurai. A just sword must have a just owner." News of the sword spread fast. Soon a samurai came to buy it. Michio was sweeping the entrance floors one morning when suddenly he was lifted off his feet. A giant of a man held Michio high in the air with only one arm. "Tell your master," the visitor bellowed while shaking the small apprentice, "that the great Katsuo is here to buy his sword." He then dropped Michio back on his feet. Michio stood shocked, staring at the ferocious-looking man. He then bowed with a "Yes, sir." "How strong and confident he is," thought Michio, running inside to find Sensei. "Someone like this must be a great warrior and worthy of our sword." "I've easily defeated hundreds of men," roared Katsuo as he sat with Sensei. "I have captured countless villages. All who see me run in fear. Only one as strong as I deserves such a perfect sword." "And what if," asked Sensei, "the villagers don't want to work for you?" "Ha!" snorted Katsuo. "Then I burn their houses and destroy all they own for questioning me." "I'm sorry," Sensei calmly replied, "but you are far too cruel and arrogant for this sword. Thank you for stopping by." Katsuo was furious. He stomped out of the swordsmith's house, shouting curses at the master and the apprentice. At first, Michio was puzzled by Sensei's decision. However, after some thought, he realized that a sword born of humility must go to one who is truly humble. The next morning, Michio was cleaning the screen doors when 4 men carrying a sedan chair stopped in front of him. They were surrounded by many servants and guards. Everyone in the party bowed deeply as an elegantly dressed man emerged from the chair. "Announce to your master," shouted one of the servants, "that the noble Lord Tota is here to purchase the famous sword." Michio looked at Lord Tota, who had not once turned his way. He then bowed to the servant and went inside. That power, to have so many people serving him, Michio thought. A man of such stature must be worthy of our sword. "I have much political power and influence," explained Lord Tota to Sensei. "I have hundreds of servants and warriors who do my every bidding. Truly only one as noble as I deserves such a perfect sword." "And how many battles have you fought in?" asked Sensei. "Me? Fight in a battle? Never," replied Lord Tota. "I have that to the soldiers. Such is the privilege of being born a noble." "I'm sorry," replied Sensei. "You have earned nothing for yourself. The sword is not for you. Thank you for coming." Insulted and flustered, Lord Tota quickly left the swordsmith's house. Again, Michio was puzzled, but after much thought he realized that only one who has worked hard deserves a sword born of hard work. The following day, a tiny housefly was bothering Michio as he polished the entrance floors. Michio was swatting at it when a visitor appeared out of nowhere, startling him. The stranger had a stone-cold face, and yet his eyes burned like hot coals. "Excuse me," the man whispered. "My name is Kenshin. I am a ronin. I wish to purchase the sword from your master." "Yes, sir," said Michio as he tried to swat the fly that continued to annoy him. In an instant, Kenshin drew his sword, sliced the fly in half, and placed his sword back in its scabbard. Michio stood in awe of the expressionless ronin. He then bowed and went to find his master. Surely Sensei will like this one, Michio thought. Such calm and skill. He's the perfect candidate. "I've dedicated my life to the Kenjutsu," said the ronin to Sensei. "All that matters to me is winning duels and perfecting my skill. Only one who is as dedicated as I should own such a perfect sword." "And how do you think the shogun and lords treat the people?" asked Sensei. "I have no interest in politics or such trivial matters," said Kenshin. "I only care about becoming the best swordsman in Japan." "I'm sorry," replied Sensei. "You are dedicated, but you are also selfish. The sword is not for you. Thank you for coming by." Kenshin bowed his head to the floor and left in silence. Once more, Michio was puzzled. Then he realized that a sword born of care and concern must go to one who cares for others, and not just for himself. Days passed and many more visitors came, but none was the right one. They were all either too cruel, too privileged, or too selfish. Growing tired of meeting these people, Sensei and Michio took a day off to visit the marketplace. Nibbling on sticks of sweet candy, they walked by vendors who were selling everything from fish and vegetables to dishes and toys. Both master and apprentice were enjoying the excitement of the crowd when a large man shoved past them in a rush. "Stop, thief!" cried out a vendor. Before Sensei and Michio could do anything, a young man blocked the thief's path. He was much smaller than the thief, but his body looked strong, and he had two swords, one long and one short, stuck in his sash. "Please return the money," the young samurai said to the thief. "Out of my way, runt!" yelled the thief, and he pulled out a large knife and slashed at the samurai. The young warrior quickly disarmed the thief and knocked him unconscious. His hand never once reached for either of his swords. Michio was amazed. Sensei nodded in approval. "Thank you for your help," the vendor said to the samurai. "Please take these coins as a reward." One should not be rewarded for doing what is right, replied the samurai. Thank you, but no. As the young samurai walked away, Sensei turned to Michio and said, Go and invite him to our house. Tell him who we are, but do not say why we wish to meet him. Michio nodded and ran after the young man. Sensei headed home to prepare for his guest. Not long after, the samurai sat with Sensei in his house as Michio served hot tea. My name is Takeshi, said the young man, bowing low. I am a low-ranking samurai in my clan. It is an honor to be here, Sensei Masa. Your work is respected throughout Japan. It is I who am honored to meet you, replied Sensei with a bow. But tell me, why did you not draw your sword today while fighting that thief? I did not have to, answered Takeshi. Hurting someone needlessly is an act of weakness, not strength. I would have dishonored my sword by drawing it today, and to dishonor the sword is to dishonor the soul. Michio sat quietly on the side, listening with a smile. You are obviously very skilled, said Sensei. Not skilled enough, replied Takeshi. Learning martial arts is a never-ending and requires hard work. Thus, I train daily. And why, continued Sensei, did you help today? Surely you did not know the vendor. I had the power to help, said Takeshi. When one can, one should. Such is the responsibility of power, even with as little as I have. Excellent, replied Sensei. You are the one we have been searching for. Michio handed their latest creation to Sensei, who then gave it to Takeshi. The young samurai was speechless as he gazed at the sword. Michio sat down, fully understanding his master's decision. Let this sword, said the master, help you grow as a warrior and as a person, in mind, body, and spirit. Takeshi grasped the sword with both hands. I will strive to be worthy of this most precious gift, he said, bowing his head to the floor. Sensei and Michio then bid Takeshi farewell and watched him leave. Come, Michio, said the master. It is time to start working on the next perfect soul. Sensei and Michio then bid Takeshi farewell and watched him leave. Come, Michio, said the master. Is it time to start working on the next perfect soul, Sensei? Asked the apprentice. The master slowly turned to his smiling apprentice. He smiled back and nodded with approval. Both bowed and walked toward the forge. Alright, that was The Perfect Sword. What'd you guys think? Alright, our next book is Bo the Brave by Bethan Woolvin and published by Peachtree Publishers. Bo lived with her older brothers, Eric and Ivar, in a land of mountains and forests. Eric and Ivar were hunters, and one day they set off on a quest to catch a monster. Please, can I come with you? I want to catch a monster too, begged Bo. You must stay at home, said Ivar. Besides, Eric sneered, you're far too little. Bo went to her room and sulked. I'm not too little, she thought. I'm smart and brave and strong. And so Bo crept out of the castle to catch a monster of her own. Deep in the forest, Bo caught a glimpse of a strange creature. Beware, you horrid monster! I'm Bo the Brave, she shouted as she quickly drew an arrow and aimed. Get ready to be got! Me? A monster? Certainly not, the creature replied. I'm the griffin. Now lower your bow. I mean you no harm. was suspicious. The griffin looked like a monster. "You seem lost. Can I help you find your way?" he asked politely. He is far too helpful to be a monster, thought Bo, so she told the griffin about her quest. "I heard the sea is full of monsters," the griffin said, and so they set off to find one. It wasn't long before they spotted another strange creature. "Beware, you slimy monster, I'm Bo the Brave." Rose stretched out to capture the beast beneath the waves. "Get ready to be," but she leaned over too far and toppled overboard. "You simply must learn to swim," the sea creature bellowed, plucking Bo from the waves. "And me, a monster? Don't be ridiculous. I am the Kraken. I mean you no harm." Bo was suspicious. The Kraken looked like a monster and smelled like a monster, but a true monster would not have saved her. She is far too nice to be a monster, thought Bo. So Bo told the Kraken about her quest. "I heard that monsters live in caves," the Kraken said, and so they set off to find one. "Well now, this creature looks like a monster, and it smelled like a monster, and goodness, it certainly sounded like a scary monster. Roar!" But as Bo crept closer, she noticed something odd. Instead of being angry, the creature was crying. "I'm sorry," said Bo. "I didn't mean to upset you. I thought you were a monster." "No, I'm just a dragon," a deep voice replied. "And you haven't upset me. My poor baby was stolen, and I can't find him anywhere." She is far too caring to be a monster, thought Bo. "I can help. I'm Bo the Brave, and I think I know just where we can find your baby." Bo and her new friend swooped off to look for the dragon's baby. "My baby must be over there," cried the dragon. "He always gets fiery when he's scared." And so they headed up toward the burning castle. As they landed, Bo spotted her brothers, Eric and Ivar. They didn't look or smell or sound like monsters, but they were certainly acting like monsters. "Beware, you nasty beasts," shouted Bo. "I'm Bo the Brave. Get ready to be got." And with that, she threw water over the flames and her monstrous brothers. "Let the baby dragon go," yelled Bo. "These creatures are helpful and nice and caring. We shouldn't be hunting them." Eric and Ivar were so relieved not to have been eaten that they agreed never to go monster hunting again. From then on, Bo loved roaming the land and learning about all the amazing creatures she came across, with the help of her brothers, of course, because Bo wasn't too little. She was smart, she was strong, she was Bo the Brave. Alright, that was Bo the Brave. What did you guys think? Alright everyone, thank you for coming to Storytime. Now, just because we're done reading does not mean we have to be done with Storytime. If you come down to the library this week, you can pick up a Storytime kit, which are these fun-filled activity kits that we made to go with the books you read today. Each kit comes with a coloring sheet, a craft, and a tasty recipe that you can make with your grown-ups. This week, our craft is this, cut and paste samurai. You can color and decorate however you like.
To get a kit, you need to come to the Fairfield County Library and look for some crates in the children's section. Now we have 2 crates, one for the Monday story times and one for the Wednesdays, so you want to make sure to grab the right kits or you could end up with something completely different. The kits for this story time are in the children's crate. They are the blue ones. We have new kits every week, so make sure to check back in every time we do a new story time. Okay, everybody, thank you for joining me for story time. Once again, my name is Miss Nina, and I hope to see you in the library this week to pick up a story time kit. It's time to say goodbye, but I look forward to seeing you all next time. Bye!